Yes, sir.
You want to introduce us? You gonna have a little fun with this?
What are we
You
doing?
basically just
What are
say,
we doing
hey,
again?
welcome back to another episode of Beer Bacon.
Okay, yeah. What are we doing again?
We're gonna talk about
College football.
who's gonna win the
College
national
football.
championship.
Okay.
Alright.
Yep.
Welcome back to a new episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. We're talking about the national championship, the Natty. Who's gonna win it?
That felt good, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, Alabama, rematch of the SEC championship.
Dogs are tied.
Boys, all I have to say is two things, and then I won't talk the rest of this segment. All I'm saying, it's hard to beat a good team twice. Go Dogs.
Okay.
Like he said, it is hard to beat a good team twice, but it is also hard to bet against the man who has 6 national championships.
Hate 'em.
6 and 15.
7?
Yeah, 7 total. 6 in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
6 at Alabama, 1 at LSU.
Okay, I would say 7 total or 6 it out. It is so hard, and especially the way they beat Georgia in the SEC championship. They finally took advantage of what everybody had been saying all year of if you can expose the Georgia secondary, you can beat them. And Bryce Young went out and did it.
Well, that's exactly what I said when we had this discussion for the SEC championship. The better quarterback is going to win that game. The better quarterback won that game.
So
And I still think the better quarterback is going to win the national championship game.
So I want to say Kirby Smart and his staff are going to go out with a little bit better game plan this time. Not saying that they probably didn't have a good game plan against them the first time in the SEC championship, but they're going to try and make sure that passing offense that they saw with Bryce Young and Jameson Williams and was
Mechie's out.
I say was Mechie in on that
Mitchie
game?
was in.
So Mechie now being
Yeah,
out
hurt
is
in that
probably,
game.
is probably going to be a good thing for Georgia. But I think they're going to come in with a different game plan of how they're going to approach the passing offense of Alabama and give it a little more respect. And I think they'll be able to contain it a little bit better this time.
Well,
I know I picked Georgia in my bowl pick'ems, and you know what? I'm going to stick to my gut. I am going to say go Dogs.
You've been wishing and watching on this.
God, I know.
I'm glad we left this for the last segment of the
I have been back
Man,
and
just
forth.
stew on it the entire night.
It is. I have been back and forth on it so much, but I'm going to stick with my gut and say, like you said,
Who got
Oh,
go Dogs.
Alex's prediction? Somebody
He said Bama by 12.
Bama by 12? Okay.
So I agree with Christian. I do think it's hard to beat the same team twice. I said that with Oregon and Utah because I thought Oregon had a chance to come out and gunslinging and beat Oregon or Utah the second time around. That didn't happen.
No.
But I think this game is going to come down again to the better quarterback play, and Bryce Young is just that much better than Stetson Bennett. And Brian Robinson is running like a man possessed right now. I mean, he is running like a big man.
My only thing is Alabama's they're a little hurt in some areas. Like one of their top receivers is hurt.
Mitchie's out. Yeah.
So and that was like a safety blanket kind of for
But they still have Jameson Williams and they have Billingsley.
yeah.
And the other tight end too, the white tight end, who's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, so it's not like you're going from all of a
He's
sudden.
not hurting. Yeah.
Well, it's not like your 5-star receiver goes out and the next guy is a true freshman 3-star, guy.
They're all 5 stars
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Alabama.
It's not Ohio State losing all 3 of their starting their starting wide receivers.
Well, they didn't. They lost 2 of them, and the other one went for
350 yards.
Made him look great.
Yeah.
16 targets, 15 catches.
Smith Njigba.
Jigba.
What a name.
Yeah. I'm torn between it. I think there's a lot of things that you got to take in. I think, obviously, I'm 100% with you. Bryce Young is way better than Stetson Bennett. Right now, Alabama's offensive line has been incredible at both running the football and throwing the football. Obviously, Georgia's been great at running the football all year long. Georgia had to play that game a little bit different, being down 24. At one point, they were down 24-10, and then just continually got worse. It was 17-24 at halftime, and then just got worse as the rest of the game went on. So Georgia had to abandon the run, and I think if Georgia can stay in the game longer and and be able to run the football, move the ball down the field the way they want to do it, control it, keep it out of Alabama's hands, they'll have a better chance. He's 100% right. I think the Minchie thing, whichever one y'all brought it up, I think the Minchie thing is big. You can't overlook this because really for Alabama's passing offense all season, it's been Jameson Williams, Bigsley, and Minchie. And to take a guy that had 6 for 97 and a touchdown out of the game and just go, oh, we can replace him with somebody else, that's not going to happen. And Billingsley really only had 27 yards in that game.
Well, that game, yes, but I'm talking about, what they did throughout the season, they still had, but yeah.
But you're talking about two guys that combined for like 2,500 yards. And now you have one that's going to step away that may be worth 1,000 or 1,100 yards. That's not easily replaceable, especially in a national championship game. And really, you look at the Alabama-Cincinnati game, which I got to thankfully watch from the sportsbook in Cherokee Casino. Alabama just ran the football down Cincinnati's throat.
They couldn't stop the run.
Exactly.
Right. Brian Robinson was just destroying them.
And it wasn't hard. It was an inside zone run between the tackle and the guard. Like, it was just...
they were doing outside ball. It was up the middle every single time.
When you don't stack the box, what do you think is going to happen?
Exactly. Right. When you play a 3-4 defense... With
the whole game.
Yeah.
You don't adjust. Yeah, it's going to continue to happen.
I agree. And Georgia's going to be able to slow Alabama's run. I had to actually yell at my stepfather yesterday, who thought that Alabama went for like 240 rushing yards.
No, it was only like 100.
And I'm like, dude, look it up, right? If you take Bryce Young's rushing yards away from that game, because he had 3 for 40, right? If you take Bryce Young's rushing yards away and you look at Trace Hunter and Brian Robinson, you're talking about less than 3.5 yards of carry between these two guys.
Listen, that defensive line is not Michigan's defensive line.
No.
I'm just going to tell you that.
No, and I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
You got a man that's 350 plus running sideline to sideline fast.
Yeah.
That man should not be able to move that fast. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but for Alabama, they really didn't run the ball that good against Georgia. And Brian Robinson is a little still banged up. My concern is that game 14, Brian Robinson's carried the ball like 360 times this year. Like, he's carried the ball more than Derrick Henry did at Alabama. And it's because they don't have depth at running back. And so my concern is a little bit on that. Now, that being said, Bryce Young went for 421 and freaking 3 touchdowns. Like, he's going to throw the ball all over Georgia.
No picks.
He's got the time.
Yeah.
No picks.
And so for Georgia, you've got to be able to lock up that secondary. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be able to put 2 men on Williams and whoever the hell Alabama goes to outside.
Make him out of the game.
Yeah, this is a big game for Billingsley. We've seen tight ends at Alabama with Jordan,
O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard,
yeah.
and the other one too. Who was it?
Oh,
the guy that went against Clemson and
Irv Smith.
Irv Smith. Like, we've seen both those tight ends who are really nobody in the regular season have 200-yard games in the national championship. Can Billingsley do that? So. I think you can. I think you can because Georgia because typically when you line up like that, you got a linebacker on the tight end. Yep.
Typically, and they like to bring pressure with their linebackers. So you put Billingsley in the middle of the field when they call. You time it right. Billingsley can go 15 40 yards on a good down, but 15 to 20 on each play.
Yeah, if you just sit in that middle of that soft zone, whatever they want, 15 yards apiece, or like you say, you can,
because their number one, Georgia's number one linebacker rushes the ball rushes the passer every other damn play.
Well, they play a 3-4 defense.
And both teams are coming off like a big high, like they both dominated in their games.
Yeah, screw off Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan didn't show up.
God. So, had the freaking over. Michigan couldn't even get in the daggum end zone.
Are you kidding me? That's
Yeah.
6 points by
It was
like
like
the third quarter?
No, 3 going into the fourth.
Yeah. So,
anyways, outside of all the stuff we just covered, the psychological aspect of this. Like, Kirby Smart's never beat Nick Saban. Jimbo Fisher is literally the only assistant. They're 24-1. Nick's 24-1 against his former assistants. Kirby's never beat him. He lost the last time they played in a national championship.
got that sour taste in his mouth, and they just.
I heard the wildest stat today that just I had to double check, and I was like, "Excuse me." The national champion has had to go through Alabama every single year since 2008.
Yeah, I believe it.
The national champion has had to beat Alabama or lose to Alabama
But
every single season since 2008.
This is my only point. Is like I can't listen, I can't stand both teams, but I can't stand Bama, but also a huge selling point for Nick Saban. You wanna go to the NFL? Go to Alabama. That's just it.
You just want. Do you
want to be guaranteed first or second rounder?
Well, do you want to be noticed and like you are like the?
Do you want to be in the? Do you want to be in the big games? The 3 or 4 years that you're here, come to Bama. Come to Bama.
Yeah.
I will guarantee. I will put you in a conference championship. I will put you in the college playoffs. Potentially playing for that.
That's why they had 3 out of your 4 years.
I can give you 2 out of your 4. If you play all 4 years here, I'll give you 1 out of your 4. We're playing for 3 though.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like
I'll guarantee you.
Like people said, like if Nick Saban's coming to repute you and he just comes with a handful of championship rings, it's just like.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta have 2. I gotta have 2 hands.
You see these?
This is what you could come and it is.
Just put the college championships on there too. Just put all the rings on the table.
I'm gonna live by the sword and I'm gonna die by the sword.
You said
2008.
Oh my god.
Since Tebow won it in 2008.
It's unreal. It's just it's honestly like something that's
when
like
when you say go like they have been in the national champion or that they
had to go through
the
Bama to
champion
Alabama.
at some point that season had to beat Alabama.
Okay. So I was about to say whether it was Georgia having to beat them in the SEC, even though Georgia hadn't won it since the 80s. But like in that, if Georgia has to do it this time, it's them beating them in the national championship.
Well, they also already, yeah.
Now,
but if Georgia would have turned, say Cincinnati would have won the game, and Georgia would have beat them in the SEC championship.
Since they had to go through Alabama to get
and
Georgia,
it would break the streak because they didn't beat Alabama.
Well, no, I was going to say, if Georgia would have beat them in the SEC.
Every person that has won a national championship since 2008 has beaten Alabama, or they have lost to Alabama in the national championship game.
okay, but also we have to realize too is that it's crazy that just SEC football is different, man. It's
That's the dominance of the Alabama
league.
dynasty right now. Even Auburn winning with Cam Newton, right? They had to beat Alabama.
How's it? Yeah, and he didn't have he had nobody also on that team. If you think back,
I'm thinking the wrong team.
Good running back.
I was thinking the 240
like
pound wide receiver, but he was
Other
used
than
for
that.
Florida State.
Oh, you're talking about
That man is one sandwich away from being tiny.
Yeah, he ate his way out of the NFL. Just like Eddie Lacy.
Oh yeah,
There's a couple of people that did that same thing.
So, but anyways, I'm gonna live by the sword, and I'm gonna die by the sword, and I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Of course.
I'm going. I mean,
it's hard. It's hard to bet against Saban, but
it
also go Dogs. So
I mean, it's a win-win for the SEC all around because we profit share. So we're getting money.
Vandy is getting money off this game.
We're getting money, but I mean, to the points that I've already made, the better quarterback is going to win this game.
yeah.
Bryce Young is the better quarterback.
So you got Bama?
Oh, I've got Bama.
Bama.
How much?
How
much?
Alex has Bama.
Alex has them by 12.
What do you think?
I didn't think Bama was going to beat them by 17 the last time. I think it's going to be like a 7 to 10 point game.
What about you, Chris?
I'm gonna go 5 to 7.
What about you, Adam? Come on.
I do think there's a lot.
Georgia by what?
Georgia does not cover the 3, so Georgia by 2. I think Georgia, you might see it 27
a missed field goal somewhere.
Yeah.
Miss extra point, 25, kind of like this Arizona Dallas game last week, 25, 22, 27, 20. Somewhere in that range, you're going to see a 2-point game.
Yeah.
I'll do the Price is Right. I'm gonna go by 1. I think they win a very tight game. A very tight game. Like you said, some crazy thing's gonna happen where extra
Late
point,
safety or something.
yeah, late safety, something.
Something weird is going to...
They're going to pull Steven Garcia and throw it out the back of the end zone for the safety?
Yeah.
So
Georgia.
Alabama, and Alex, who will show up as an Alabama.
All right.
So, all right.
Dogs.
We'll see
Go
who's
Dogs.
right. We'll see who's right. Bragging rights next Tuesday night.